So take a look at the photos that I have for you here on the screen. And what I want you to do is take a second and think about which leaders inspire you right now. Think about which ones galvanize you. And we'll talk about more stellar female leaders throughout our session today. But I want to introduce these to you. I think you'll recognize most of them. At the top, we have Melinda Gates. Next, going to the right, is Oprah. The third person, you may or may not know her face, is Stephanie Leonard's with Marriott. And the fourth is the legendary RBG. And so I want to talk about how and why they inspire us. And I'm also going to give you an exercise that you can use with your team back home, AKA your office. So let's take a look at each of them. Melinda Gates, of course, she's Bill Gates' spouse, but where she's really made her mark is heading up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is one of the world's largest charitable foundations. This is where she was inspired to incorporate her own work experience into empowering women all over the world, focusing on gender equity. Next, let's look at Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So RBG, as many of you may know, became a legend really in her own time. She, of course, served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, but unexpectedly became a true pop culture icon in her later years. Who knew? In 1993, she solidified her legacy for women and minority rights. And remember that she was only the second woman to serve on the court. Here's the why. Aside from her superb skills, she chose to defy the odds, and she wasn't diminished by them. She pushed those barriers. Even at 85, she connected with lots of people, and it just took off. She was indeed a super diva. Oprah, I think we all are aware, is a media force to be reckoned with, and famous for many things, of course, television, movies, interviews. The why is her connection to and her affinity for ordinary people, what she calls her kitchen talk. She has been able to successfully make us see her as one of us, and we listen. Stephanie Leonard's, again, maybe a face you haven't seen. If you haven't been familiar with this, Marriott CEO Sorensen passed away recently in 2021. And Stephanie took his place. So she was just named president, responsible for the company's 30 lodging brands, 7,600 properties. And Sorensen was well known for his ability to connect with everyone. People know Stephanie for her own advice to be authentic and to be fierce. Whether you're a man or a woman, her advice is to take those risks and be confident in yourself. So this is how these women have influenced us. They connect, they listen. And you might be asking, well, how can I apply this? So I say, again, do try this at home, AKA your office. Use this discussion right away to start a brainstorming session. You can use the women that I've shown you up here. You can include some choices of your own. You can do this virtually, or when it comes back to being in person, you can do that. You can use a slide, a whiteboard, ask your team for their ideas. And the most important question you can ask them is the why.